Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Brick shots with Billy Antonio. Fit them old bricks. Ballin' like a with all these bricks. Welcome back, episode 161 of Brick Shots with Billy Antonio. We are going to get really into it today with a lot of NBA stuff. Some crazy stuff going on. We'll do a touch of mock drafting. The closer we're getting, Antonio told me last week that I've cared less about this year's draft, but I think the NBA has kind of been hot. NFL offseason has been a little too hot to kind of cover the draft, so I know my lane, and that's what we're going to roll with. But we're going to cover a little bit. But first, before we start, Antonio, I'm going to give a big shout-out to Trent, my best friend. He would have been 30 today, so just rest in peace. I think about you every day, and I miss you a whole bunch. So let's get on to the show, Antonio. I know you're excited to take it to the baseline, and that's what we're going to do. But before we take it to the baseline, Antonio, I want you to just give me one shocker of the playoffs that's upcoming. That's it. Just one quick shocker.
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5.
Gentlemen, report to the baseline. To the baseline!
Welcome into the 4 viewers we have currently. We're taking it to the baseline with Antonio Moore. Go ahead, dude.
Hey, man. So, basketball been on fire, man. Starting with waking up and seeing the Nuggets, who are tied for 4th place, who just had the league MVP, who just won a chip the year before this year, before Boston, fired Mike Malone. Billy, what the fuck?
Antonio, that was the exact question. Yes. What the fuck? What do we do?
Hey, bro, what the fuck, bro? I'm not gonna lie, bro. This one caught me off guard bad, bro, because I'm just like, huh? I really, I'm still trying to understand this one for sure. I really am. I don't get it. Maybe Chris can help me understand why they did it, because I don't know. This one lost me for sure.
The only thing that I saw was that it had become a toxic environment, and that if basically Malone hadn't won the chip a couple years ago, he would have been fired a lot sooner. But to me, my first reaction was what I sent in the group chat when I saw the news. Like, I guess Jokic ain't like him, because generally in the NBA, if a coach gets fired, whether especially when he's good or he's won a chip, like, it's usually because the star player doesn't like the guy. And we all know in the NBA it's players leagues. But apparently, from what I read, like, Jokic liked him. So the stuff that I had seen was like it had grown toxic because him and the GM didn't get along, and he's a bit of an old school hard ass NBA coach, but he treated Jokic and Murray a little bit easier, which I always go back to the Jimmy Johnson quote: treat everybody the same differently. You know, you want to get that star treatment, be a fucking star. You're not Jokic, shut the fuck up. So I'm not worried how the 8th guy on the bench feels about how I'm treating him. Like, you're not valuable to the team. I'm gonna make sure my 2 stars are taken care of, the 2 guys that win me games, and the rest of y'all get in where you fit in. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, to me, if you got 3 games left in the season, you're going into the playoffs. Like,
just gonna wait it. That's Chris. Not to cut you off. That's the only spot. Like, okay, hey, let's say the Nuggets lose in the first, second round, even the Western Conference Finals, and you say, hey, we want to take this in a different direction. I think I could sit here and be like, well, bad move, but okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, because we've seen this with Frank Vogel, we've seen it with Nick Nurse, and we've seen it with I think it's Terry Stotts from Milwaukee.
We've seen it with Budenholzer in Milwaukee.
Budenholzer, not Terry Stotts. Excuse me, that's Portland coach. But we've seen this, and this is where I do wonder about a lot of things. Where is it? How much ego, Antonio, do you think is involved in these? And like, I'm gonna backseat what Chris said was, is it your 6th, 7th, 8th player? Are they upset with what's going on, or do you not understand? Like, oh, that's Jokic. I'm gonna fucking just be whoever I am whatever the team needs because I'm not the fucking best guy on this team. Because now we're not winning a title. You're not winning a title without Mike Malone. I'm sorry, you're not. And Antonio, is it an ego thing with these GMs or something? What are you thinking?
Shout out to Duce. I want to get into it because the Grizzlies, who are also tied for fourth place, they fired Taylor Jenkins. And it was said that Ja really didn't like his offense because he didn't have the ball as much, or I see it's different there because that's your star player versus Yoke liking him. But if Russell Westbrook was complaining about Mike Malone, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Yeah, like I don't give a shit.
Why don't you go fucking airball a three or miss a layup and then foul a 3-point shooter to lose a game? Like,
yeah, I don't
fucking worried about what you got to say.
Bill, I think it's the GMs, dog. I think certain GMs' egos are too big because they got a lot of juice. They get too much power to make the wrong moves, like this one. These are the wrong moves, but you got to go way back, Billy. Let's get into the GMs. You got to go way back. Historically, GMs have been dickheads, and nobody but the owner could change that. But historically, the dickheads that was GM, they won a lot.
Yeah.
So, the biggest dickhead of all time, Jerry Krause. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But he got 3, then he came back, got 3 back to back. And he still told Mike, I don't give a fuck about you on field. He up out of here.
Yeah.
Dickhead, bro. But then you go.
His wife got booed for her dead husband at the game. That's how big of a dick that guy was. That's crazy.
Dickhead, bro. But a winner. A winner.
Yeah.
You go to fucking LA. Jerry West. Cool dude.
Notable dick.
But a dickhead. And he let you know, I'm about winning. Fuck all that shit. He's an asshole as a GM. Good dude, asshole as a GM. Right? Rest in peace to him too.
Hey, rest in peace.
Then you go back to LA and you go to Pat Riley, dickhead. And that him being a dickhead followed him to Miami, where he went in 06 and won 1. Then he got Bron and won 2 back-to-back.
Yeah.
But that same dickhead, and this is where it gets mixed up, Billy. He's still a dickhead, but who Miami got? Where Miami at? Tyler Hero, their best player right now?
For right now.
And Miami's one of them spots, but if you hear stars like telling story, Jimmy Butler come out and say, hey, Pat don't give a fuck about winning. He just wanted it done his way. Well, you seen Jimmy Butler carry out to the finals. He was looking like the Popeyes woman bent over after cooking all them chicken sandwiches against the Lakers. Bruh gave it his all one game. Bam out of bio didn't show up. Tyler Hero made that one shot on LeBron, and then Bron came and yeeted on him down the court, and he was never back in the series. And instead of Pat being like, you know what? This is Miami. I can go get another star. He was like, nah, I'm going to just pay Duncan Robinson $170 million to not even be able to dunk. And he's 6'9". And he ain't shooting at a high clip.
Yeah.
But it's Pat Riley's ways, right?
But so I think the only thing I'm going to roll with you with Pat Riley is he's done it differently for where the league is at. Jimmy Butler, you could say XYZ about Jimmy Butler, but he's also caused problems on some other teams. Now he's
problems everywhere he's been.
For sure, Jimmy. But is it problems or do he want to win? Because if I take the third team, because the stories come out, Billy. Jeff Teague told the story. He was like, Jimmy Butler took the third team and beat our ass and called Cat a bitch. Well, yeah. Is Cat not soft?
He is soft. No. I'm with you.
Billy, Embiid. Did Jimmy Butler not tell us about Embiid? Is Embiid that Jimmy Butler was talking about, we not seeing him right now?
And I think Jimmy day one at Embiid was going at Embiid. If I remember the story right, it was the first practice. He was like, yeah, they're not ready for anything. And he was right. I'm not saying he was wrong in that.
But I don't want to give the stigmatism that we got to call him a problem maker if he just going in You want him to come in and win, and he telling you what's wrong. Well, it happened to make it to media because you ain't taking what he's saying at heat, and now the media finding out because you need a story, Billy. So I don't want him to be called a problem causer.
Let me fix what I said. That not a problem, but at the same time, you could say not a team guy because maybe that could have been in house where he could have called Embiid a bitch. Maybe off the court, not during the filmed practice, because you know they don't film certain parts of practice and they film certain parts. And that's the film part is the same with Draymond when he punched old buddy. That was the film part. Like you could have punched him during the night.
That shit got leaked.
No. Or excuse me. So yeah, that being leaked, but the Jimmy Butler thing was during the film part of practice.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying for Jimmy.
I get it.
But he goes to another great organization in Golden State, and we're seeing him flourish again. Exactly. But can Jimmy Butler do this for bad organizations? Is my question.
I mean, he did it in Chicago. They wasn't, He
had Derrick Rose, though. It wasn't like he was the guy turning that around. And what did Derrick Rose do? Derrick Rose was out of the media. He just was like, I'm just trying to ball, da-da-da-da.
Well, that's because Derrick Rose is a little slow. You avoid the media when you can't talk, dude. That's just smart.
Do you remember that three he hit against Cleveland, though, in the Eastern Conference Finals? Crazy. Brett hit his three. Woo.
But I also remember him cutting himself because he fell asleep with a knife in the bed eating an apple. That's probably the dumbest shit ever.
Is that a real story?
Yeah, that's a real story.
Damn.
Exactly. But then so let's not talk Jimmy. Let's talk Brun.
Okay.
You go 2-2. And instead of like making shit happen for Brun, best player in the world at the time.
Yeah.
What they say he did, he took his cookies. Bro couldn't even have cookies on the plane. And then after Brun got up out of there, bro didn't even want to get D-Wade to stay. And I get it. D-Wade was old. He was old when Brun was there, but it's D-Wade. It's Wade County.
Yeah, keep him in Miami. Fuck it. Let's suck for a little bit. What did the Lakers do for Kobe, Tonio?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll suck.
But what did Pat Riley do for Haslam? When the last time you seen Haslam play a full game? But they kept him on the team.
They did.
He never left, bro. Like retired.
Well, it's the same with Juwan Howard. Juwan was just sitting on the bench with LeBron too, just collecting.
He just started coaching. He just slid over to coaching, bro. But I think it's a difference in GMs because you can go to good GMs now, Billy. Let's go. Let's talk Sam Presti. Sam Presti made one mistake his whole GM career. That one mistake probably cost them going back to the finals, but they got better again. And all he didn't pay James Harden $5 million more. That's the one mistake he made. But ever since then, he's been doing everything to keep the players and the fans happy in OKC. Right?
Give him, dude, if you got him a big market, dude, Sam Presti's winning some titles.
That's what I'm saying. Sam Presti. But let's take it to the person who left the coaching seat and then went to the GM role and won the title. Same year. Let's go, Brad. Hey, let me go get the Bucks. They won. Let me go get the focal point, like the reason why they won. Let me go get Drew Holiday. The Bucks stupid. They not gonna know. They fired Mike Budenholzer after he won the title. So I know they're gonna let one of their best pieces go, right?
Yeah, that's good, dude. That's good digging right there.
Yeah, what Brad do? Well, I'm gonna take that dude y'all just won with, and I'm gonna win this year. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
So
I do get upset for Brad. I do think he should have probably won one as a coach, but I get it. Hey, get it right where you can.
I mean, you don't think Joe Mazzulla out there like, hey, Brad, let me holler at you.
Yeah, no. I think that's 100% right.
It, bro, but you got gyms like that ain't egotistical, bro. Like Brad Stevens made it work for Jaylen Brown and fucking Jason Tatum.
What a GM job. That's a great job.
That whole team together. He got rid of their problem. Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
And Marcus Smart button heads with a lot of people. I'm going to get something for him. What do you do? Go get a shooter and a big.
Yeah. Let me just say, too, I was also on the bandwagon of I didn't like to get rid of Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. I did not like that when they did it, and then they won a title next year. So
it's some people that's out there just smarter than us with this shit, Billy, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
When you saw him trying to take all the game-winning shots, you knew it was time for him to go. You got 2 stars on the team. He shouldn't be holding the ball in the final minutes of any game.
But again, Antonio, that's why I'm sitting here talking to you, and I'm not in a fucking executive suite.
Well, we know a little bit. That's why we got the best sports show on the net right now.
Now
Chris Wright, how many times we got on here that 1 year? That 1 year. Now I'm reading the comments. It don't make sense. Sorry.
Yeah, I just read it too.
Yeah, he can't do that.
I can't do that.
I'm in the Navy, dog.
I would, but
kind of need to keep his job. Yeah, I really just the GMs, bro. I think GMs need to be reevaluated, but I think that's where the owners got to come in and be like, "Hey, man, we was just in the chip. Then y'all fired the person that got us there, and now we looking like the Suns." I don't get it. And that's just me. I think some of these GMs trying to find their way around. Like, look at
real quick, Tonio. Hey, Dusky, tell us what GM job is getting a egotistical way of having that job.
What's his name in LA?
Rob Pelinka?
Yeah, Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka went out and got Luka. Congrats on that. But still didn't get a fucking center.
Rob didn't get out and get Luka. Fucking Nico just said, "Hey, you want Luka?"
The doctor fucked the Lakers out of that, though.
It don't matter, bro. You still can get something, bro. You could have got a center, bro.
Yeah,
bro. And Jackson Hayes not playing bad, bro. But when you see these centers that's just bigger than 6'11", yeah, what the fuck?
The Lakers are just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Like, you see they rebounds come from tapping this shit to somebody else other than somebody grabbing it. Yeah, let's go get
Why don't they go out and sign first ballot Hall of Famer Dwight Howard? He's still out there balling in China, ain't he?
I don't think Dwight's doing nothing but interviews now. But he
Toto's
might be.
Say grab Dwight for 3 years, Chris.
They won't do it. Dwight Howard played for 2 7-Eleven burritos right now. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Hey, they got 7-Elevens in Norfolk.
That's all they have. 7-Elevens and Wawa's.
You do the Slurpees?
Nah, I go to Wawa's, bro.
Bro, I ain't had a 7-Eleven Slurpee in a minute. That's a good shout. I'm gonna have to fuck with that this weekend.
I go to Wawa's.
Yeah, you're still in the Dallas area, Chris, right? They got 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I'm a little bougie now, bro. I go to Wawa's and get frozen shakes and shit. Yeah.
Bro, Bray was telling me about that shit. She was just like, "Oh, they got Wawa's." I'm just like,
yeah.
Hey, that podcast money ain't hitting yet. I can't afford that shit.
Okay,
I don't even know what it is. It sounds expensive.
Dwight Howard just trying to get back in the locker room now. He don't care how you get in there. He just want to be in the locker room. It don't matter.
He trying to take some showers with the boys again.
Exactly, bro. I ain't want to say that.
Marcel Lago, 2 7-Eleven burritos.
Just saying, bro. But I think the GMs need to be reevaluated, Billy, because you got these star players. Well,
hold up. Dwight Howard is signed to a Big 3 team now, so he is still hooping.
There we go.
Now he's just gonna be dunking on people in Big 3. Ice Cube getting it right. Hey,
yes.
Man, I want to sign y'all. I got a network. I'm Ice Cube, and y'all can play.
He did mess up the Caitlin Clark sign, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
He tried to pay her like $5 million or some shit from what I'd seen.
She should have took it. She'll never make that in the WNBA. But
I think it's in her WNBA contract. She can't.
They hate. But speaking of the Lakers, man, because these GMs got to get it right. They always gonna have egos, Billy, and I can end it right there because these people making hundreds of millions of dollars more than them. So,
well. Let's take it to because, like you said too, right? I do want to kind of get into this a little bit, Tony, if you don't mind. Yeah. But look at the Memphis Fire and Taylor Jenkins, right? He got him to a 2 seed, got him to a 4 seed. Everything was doing great, right? David Fizdale also was a game away of beating the Spurs. Would have took him to the next round. I get he didn't win a title or anything. I'm not saying he had anything sitting there, but It's like
he still ain't got a head coaching job.
Yeah, but I think because he's a little fiery, right? And I think, like Tony, we were talking about with the egos, that's where I want to go with it, is that it's kind of like Jerry Jones's ego. I'm not saying it's equivalent. I'm just saying comparatively, if we're doing that with an owner or a GM, you don't want this guy taking all this credit, right? And you don't want it's like I'm putting together the team. If I'm the owner, I did all these moves and I made it. And it's like that's the wrong way to think about it. How about you're looked at as like a Robert Kraft, where like, oh shit, Belichick, yeah, sure, he's getting all these rings. Oh, look it's Brady who's getting all the rings. You think Kraft gave a fuck who got the credit? Hell no. He wanted to get the rings and then let's worry about it later. When he walks into his office, he has the fucking 6 Super Bowls right there.
Everybody must be Jerry Jones. They gotta be.
And that's the wrong way to do it.
I mean,
right? Like you could see that's the wrong way to do it.
It is.
Look at these great organizations. Look at who's the owner of the San Antonio Spurs. Do we know who that is?
Chris.
Nope.
Popovich.
Is it? Yeah, dude. Like you let him be the fucking face. Who gives a fuck?
Billy, do you think you remember when I told you last
Peter
year?
Holt.
Whoever the fuck that guy is. Good job.
Who the fuck is that guy? Hey, you remember when I told you that the Belichick firing and the Nick Saban quitting would have like not just an effect on football, but it would affect all sports? I think that shit just coming into play, Billy. No,
damn.
The NBA's always been like that. The star players don't like to be coached hard. That's been true for the last 30 years.
Eric Spoelstra was never getting fired.
And Chris, and I know I'm not saying it's not a players' league because it is, but if you look at the Spurs, Tim Duncan was all about Pop called his ass out all the time, right? Look at Phil Jackson.
You can go to the exception.
No.
I'm just saying though, it's easier in the NBA to keep a job, bro. Like because you go back to the Avery Johnsons, you go back to like all these people back.
That's some great Maverick teams,
bro. You go back, they keeping their jobs because it was like the GM knew, like, bro, in the Western Conference, I got to go through Kobe. I got to go through Carmelo. I got to go through the Spurs. I got to go through
the Suns with Steve Nash for those years.
Like, I got to go through all them teams. Bro, if you get me to the playoffs, hey, let's work with it and run it back and get better. In the Eastern Conference, them coaches, they didn't fire none of them coaches that was running up against LeBron every year for the 8 years straight because they knew.
How long was Van Gundy with Orlando? Went to one finals, dude. He had a job forever.
Forever.
Yeah, and then Dwight Howard wanted him out because he was the star player that didn't like the coach. I mean, it's another example.
I get it. I get the star player thing, but I don't know, man. It's a mix of you got to run some plays to win in the NBA. And I know the culture is like all these young athletic motherfuckers just coming in and thinking they can hoop, but you can't. And I think Billy now, even though he not fired, who we ain't seen on the court most of the year?
Oh,
Pop.
Oh, Pop, yeah.
Billy, if Pop decides, hey, my health ain't good enough, I ain't coming back to the game, that's it for tenure in coaching around sports.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, Spo's going to be the only one because Pat Riley is the only true old school guy.
That's it.
Like we talk about Bron a lot on the show for obvious reasons, but Bron wanted Spo fired when he went there, and Pat told him no.
Yeah.
And Pat's the only person in the league that would ever tell Bron no.
Good point.
I mean, Rob Pelinka.
I think Rob he deals with Maverick Carter too, so I don't think Bron would have him fired.
No. I say he nothing told him no. All he asked for was a center, and then he got rid of AD. He did get Luka. Can't be mad.
Like,
but damn, you still couldn't get a center. I'm gonna be hung up on that because Billy, let's just say because we'll get off this and go to the Lakers. You got Luka, and that's a generational talent, right?
Yeah. But
goddamn, you couldn't get me 1 7-footer. Like nobody wanted to come to LA, bro. No team you couldn't make no. You got Luka, dog. Sure. That means you can get any trade you want to, bro.
But But Tonio, on this one, I do want to. We'll do a conspiracy for next show, but I do think the GMs and the more older, not older school heads, but the old-ish heads don't want LeBron to succeed. So I do think that is something like they don't want to help LeBron be better. We'll get to that conspiracy next week, but let's get into the Lakers thing before we go too far off. With Luka getting thrown out against OKC in a great game. That was actually on HBO Max, by the way. I don't know if you guys have HBO Max. That's how I watch it.
A lot of games on Max now.
Dude, it's awesome. It's
Luka
awesome.
and the Lakers were leading when he got thrown out, by the way.
Yep.
Just
Luka
want to
had
point that
just
out.
got an and one to put them up. It was
After they spanked them
by 27.
Let me throw out too. The first Luka Tech was fine. I was okay with that call. That was an okay call. That was fine. Got in the ref's face, kind of touched him a little bit. I'm okay with that call. The second one, though, that's where it's kind of Luka's never also. I didn't know this until yesterday. Luka's never been thrown out of a game. Did you know that?
Bro, it's in LA, bro.
Yeah, star power's a little different in LA, sure. But also that ref, what a bad call. Tony, was that a good call?
Fuck no. The NBA rescinded the fucking tech. The next day they rescinded it.
You can't do it now. They already fucking lost.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck cares?
That's what I'm saying, bro. So they rescinded the fucking tech, bro. They knew that was a bad. The ref knew he was the ref. If the ref heard Luka, he definitely heard that fan.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But
I did. Can I disagree real quick too with because Braun came over and touched the ref too, and I didn't like that. I didn't. You don't touch the refs.
Nah, you put your hands on whoever you need to for your teammates.
No.
And it's LeBron. What they gonna do? If you throw Luka and LeBron out, bro, there will be a fucking rate. The ratings go. Yeah, nah.
You might get a rating spike. Actually, that might be like good for the league.
LeBron got to slap the ref.
The fucking referee might catch a Samoan spike from every fan in attendance. That's the only spike he gonna be getting.
But real quick, Billy, shout out to Cam because he just got out of work, so he tired. But he was MIA when I was talking to him about OKC in 5, OKC in, and then the Lakers beat their ass by 27. LeBron caught a fucking Austin Reeves threw a half court behind the back alley-oop to LeBron in the game. It was a beautiful game to watch them get their ass whooped. And then, the get back had to be got. But I just, Billy, with the addition of Luka and no center, it's still
child support, Lou Dort. Lakers in 5. The Thunder, a Boost Mobile bundle, WWE Royal Rumble. Lakers in 5. OKC, KFC, UFC. Lakers in 5. Houston Rockets. I don't care nothing about no light socket, a court docket, or my empty pockets. Lakers in 5. You can say SGA, PGA, USA. Lakers in 5. Phoenix Sun, Capri Sun, Mohegan Sun. The sun's about to set. In Lakers in 5. CP3, C3PO, it doesn't matter. Star Wars and Luke Skywalker.
That's who he is.
Lakers in 5. It doesn't matter. Chris Paul, Cliff Paul, Jake Paul, Logan Paul. Lakers in 5. You can have Harden, you can have a pardon, you can get a garden. Lakers in 5. Serge Ibaka, Chewbacca, Waka Flocka. Lakers in 5. Right side, back side, sunny side. Lakers in 5.
Strong side.
Tyler Hero, superhero, guitar hero. Lakers in 6.
Hey, Billy, you asked me, bro. They spanked the number 1 team by 27.
Hey, I tried to tell Mr. Hurston that Luka. I know it's been the Civil War era is over, but Luka on shy in this bitch. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Then they beat Houston as well.
Oh my God, Chris.
That's the number 2 team in the West.
Yeah.
Who did they beat, Tonio? Hold on. Can you say that again? Hurston.
Houston? I don't know. So
you've been in the Navy too long, dude. They fucked you up with your accent.
Probably.
Yeah.
Houston, the number 2 team. The Nuggets blessed us and fired Mike Malone. Billy, the Lakers can run away with the West, bro. And it's they beat Boston and the Cavs. They beating them. So Lakers in 5.
Look, the Warriors, Tonio. Don't tell me you're not worried about the Warriors at all.
I ain't gonna tell you I ain't worried about it.
Okay.
I ain't really worried about it. Not for real.
Play another Shannon clip.
I seen
right there, that's what you did.
Scored 3 points in 31 minutes the other day. Yeah. LeBron,
he also scored like 42 or some shit. Almost broke the record for threes.
Yeah. See,
so
he had off night. I know one thing guaranteed: taxes, racism, and LeBron scoring 10 points every night.
And Luka scoring 30 in the playoffs.
We'll see when the playoffs get here, Chris.
Bruh, I don't know what it is, but Austin Reeves is on a fucking unbelievable heater right now, bruh. Bruh just shooting from everywhere, and that shit just cash. Every time you let that whole
I don't want it to be right now. I want it to be in the playoffs.
You're an Austin Reeves hater.
Hey, who's the last NBA team where 2 of their top 3 players was whites? We got us one, Billy. We got us one.
Hold on.
But y'all don't got one. Luka don't count as a white person for y'all.
Yes, he does.
International white.
Don't take Luka away.
Bro, y'all can have Austin Reeves, Tyler Hero.
No, I don't want Tyler Hero. Hell no.
Christian Braun, the dude from the Nuggets.
Give me Cooper Flag, too.
He ain't in the league yet, and he lost.
Great transition, Tonio. Duke.
Hey, I'm sure Doc Rivers would love the shit out of him, though. He probably talking about, hey, nobody talks about the 65 points I put up, though. They only talk about the 66 we gave up. Stupid fuck.
Duke lost to
Houston.
Houston.
That's called a callback to last week.
Duke did lose to Houston. Auburn lost to Florida. Duke losing to Houston was crazy work, right? That the last 30 seconds of that game was last 34 seconds. Excuse me.
I was cutting AB hair. Shout out to Butler.
Big shout out to AB. Appreciate it.
While we was watching the Natty, bro, and just how the refs might have tricked off against Duke for that over the back call on Cooper. I don't know if I would have called that, but
I would have called it, but it was a foul.
I mean, cool. But the same way they almost gave Houston that motherfucker against Florida. They was calling foul after foul after foul in the second half. And I was like, well, me and Butler was both like, oh, they done tricked the game off. The refs done tricked it out. Because, you know, Billy, once you get momentum, and then Houston went up 12. And I'm like, and then Florida's best player had like 2 points at that.
The white dude, number 10?
No, Crawford. Crawford's their best player. Chris, look his name up for me. I don't know his name. Like
whom for Florida?
Well, so the Auburn the game that I paid most attention to was Florida Auburn. And Auburn kept almost coming back. It was almost there. But whoever that white dude number 10 was just kept putting it in the fucking basket, dude, and was not fucking around.
Thomas Haw is number 10 for Florida.
Who was his name?
Thomas Haw.
Now I'm looking for Crawford.
I don't see no Crawford. They got a Alex Condon, a Walter Clayton Jr., a Will Richards.
Clayton Walker.
Yeah, okay.
Crawford. I think this dude I work with named Crawford. They hoop like. Clayton. Clayton wasn't going at all, Billy.
Yeah.
Well, let me take it back. He wasn't going like what we used to now. Traditionally, though, at that point, he had like 2 points, but he had like 7 assists and 2 steals. So that's a traditional point guard stat line, right? But then it was like they was like, hey, bro, we ain't gonna win this game if you don't get activated. And then I think he dropped like 14 in the fourth or in the second half, and then they won. Houston also lost on one of the dumbest plays I've ever seen. I don't know what action they call, but when you get stuck in the air with the ball and don't nobody come and get it, and that's how you lose the game, like no attempt at the basket at all.
Yeah,
it's pretty insane. The game was amazing, though.
Great game.
It was way better than that ass whooping that UConn put on South Carolina. Don Staley, I was reading her lips, and she was a cussing something that night. She was, God damn it. She was over there. She was mad as hell. Shout out to Paige them. They beat the shit out of South Carolina. And that solidified Paige being better than y'all homegirl. Because she's a loser.
Well, look at the ratings.
I don't care about the ratings, Billy.
Get all over.
Care about winning. That's all y'all got. Somebody said that she got way more viewers. They watched her lose a lot. Paige, also, I don't see why. You know why the whites ain't behind Paige, Billy? We ain't got to talk about it.
Nope, we got to now.
Well, she got black family.
I didn't know that. I got to support her harder now. I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Is she black? Is she black?
Nah, I think I didn't read into this situation, but her family is black. Like, I don't know if she's adopted or something, but her family's black. Like, legit black.
All right, way to go. Until I adopt a black kid, nobody's going to be up in arms. Need some athletes on the Adams side. Tonio. I think you did great. I'm glad I made Chris laugh. I like when Chris laughs.
Gentlemen, report to the baseline. To the baseline!
Tonio, now that we're out of the baseline, I'm just going to give a big shout out to John. John, love you, miss you. I know you're doing great things. I sent you 2 emails with your podcast also. I sent them 2 emails also. So, Tonio, we're going to kind of get into a little bit of a mock draft situation. It's not going to be exactly a mock draft.
You can't shout out John and lie about John. John, definitely, he probably doing great in life, but if he at work, he definitely somewhere betting money that he can make trick shots in a garbage can.
I wasn't going to throw that out there. I
gotta be honest. That is who I aspire to be in my career now.
100% that's who I want to be. Yes. Now, all right, Tonio, we're gonna start with the AFC South because they got the first pick. Tennessee taking Cam Ward, I think, is kind of an obvious thing now. They got some coaches from Washington State with Cam. They worked out one of the wide receivers that worked with them, probably take him in the 2nd round, maybe 3rd round, depending on how far wide receivers run. But Cam Ward, anybody got any objections with Tennessee taking Cam Ward? The only other person I can see taking is Travis Hunter.
This will be a mostly you, Antonio thing. Because when it was just me and you a few weeks ago, I get my commentary on your mock draft, but I'll pitch in wherever I got something to say.
Well, this is a bit of a newer mock draft, Chris.
Oh, okay, it's 2.0. I got you.
Yeah.
They canceled the workout with Shador. They did it like they both agreed. Both parties agreed.
And I'm sure Shador was like, dude, if you guys are going to take Cam, what do we do? What's the point?
I think so. Ian Rappaport said that Shador probably the most mature player he ever talked to because he was trying to get information on why Shador or what he was going to do at the pro day.
Yeah.
So he reached out to the family, and he was like, I was in the car with my kids, and I got a random FaceTime from a random number, and he answered it, and it was Dion. I don't call him Dion. He said Dion. It was Coach Prime.
Yeah.
And he was like, what up, Rap? What you need? What you trying to figure out? And he was like, well, I'm just trying to see what Shador doing at pro day or at the combine. And he was like, all right, give me a second. And Rat was like, bruh handed the phone off. I thought he was going to get it to his manager, but it was Shador.
It was Shador, yeah.
He was like, I had one of the most mature conversations with a young person that I've had. And he was handling his own business, telling him the reasons why, like giving him the truth, the inside reason why. So, yeah, I think with Shador not having any agents, it's just him and Coach Prime handling his business. I think they probably put the call in, and Coach Prime was like, "Yeah, we taking Cam." So I'm pretty sure Cam. If Cam don't go, then that changes a lot of shit. If they go and get Travis Hunter, who I would go get if I was them, because you like Buddy Mayonnaise commercial.
I love it.
But they need to go get Cam. They need to go get Cam for sure. Shooter not in here, so I can ask. But they definitely need to go get Cam.
All right, and then I'll go Jacksonville next on the clock for the AFC South. I actually got Abdul Carter falling a little bit. I got them falling to Jacksonville at 5. With that foot surgery, it's a little weird. Obviously, we're going to see as it come. But if you're Jacksonville, are you excited about getting Abdul Carter to put on the other side of Trayvon Walker, who they just picked up their 5th year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're not going to be good offensively because what's the name of Bus? It's about time to say that.
Can we give T. Larry one more year before he's a bust?
Yeah, for sure.
No, he's already got like seven years.
He's won a playoff game. That's the only reason I don't know if we can throw the bus out there yet. But if he doesn't do jack shit this year, he needs to win 2. Watch your fucking mouth about Tim Tebow.
You don't ever talk about Tim on this show.
Don't Tim Tebow had the power of fucking God on his fucking side too. But
God should have given him a little bit more talent to him.
Chris, he's won half the playoff games. Fucking Dak Prescott's won. Come on. And he had way less time. And people hated him. People did not want him to succeed, and he did. Dak's getting every fucking handout in the book, can only win 2. Anyway, the Colts.
You beat the Doc Rivers of the NFL and Mike Tomlin, so that don't really count.
That counts. But anyway, the Colts, I got Donovan Azukaruku. Zeke.
Bless you.
Thank you, Chris. Aruku is how I'm going to say his name. I know that I'm getting it wrong. I've heard it on 100 mock drafts today. I made my kids watch the mock draft with me, and I explained it to them. They seemed to understand, but they didn't care about my pronunciation. But I got him falling to the Colts at 14. There's a lot of ways the Colts can go. I just see let's get an edge. Y'all see why it's not Tyler Warren for this second in just a little bit, but that's what I see them grabbing. Tonio, what do you want the Colts to do? They got some holes.
I really think I think they go Jalon Walker.
Okay. No, I'm with you.
What I want to see the Colts do is give up on Michael Vick 2.0. Shout out Christian, because he
Shout out Christian for the best cold take in sports history.
But hear me out with the Colts too. I want to say they might grab Jackson Dart, who's a little better with throwing the ball than Anthony Richardson. Me and Antonio called it out years ago. Do not draft this kid. And then what the Colts do, fuck it up. And
you
then
can't complete passes in college. You don't got a fucking chance in the NFL where the windows are way
Chris,
tighter.
you're literally quoting me right now. But now we got the Texans. I have them in this mock draft 2.0 grabbing Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. I think CJ Stroud's going to kind of revamp those connections. And if you remember in the Rose Bowl, Emeka Egbuka had 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and fucking 5 catches, and just ran all over Utah in that Rose Bowl game.
I think they're going offensive line. They need to protect CJ.
No, you're right. I was really dicking around with some of these picks, but I think I have some tackles falling, and I think they can grab one in the second round. They might trade up for, give up a 4th and a 5th round to trade up to grab a tackle that they need in the second round. And Nick Caseria, Antonio, you know this from being a Patriots fan, they're not scared to go up to grab what they need.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to go up because I don't want to. Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Let's go to another team. I think they go. The North Dakota State here.
No, okay. No, and I'm with you. I think
Gray Zabel.
Gray Zabel, that's his name. Yes, absolutely.
I think you protect the money, and the money is CJ.
But also, I wonder if here's where the only reason I'm gonna think that you're wrong. Hey, appreciate the 2 viewers we got in right now. Give us a who is gonna go to your team? My 2 viewers in right now. Who's gonna go to your team? Who do you think? But Tonio, with that, I got the Saints. Now we're going to the NFC South, and that's what we'll explain in a second. The NFC South, Mason Graham, I have fallen all the way to 9 at the Saints.
Ha! See, this one's hard, bro. Because I don't know if you watched Shador's Pro Day.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I don't know if you've seen Dion's interview, but he had on black and gold, and he was like, I like these colors a lot. That's what he kept saying. I like these colors a lot. And then, boom, guess who showed up to training camp the next day? You see him? No.
Shador?
No. Who's the best player on the Saints?
Taysom Hill.
Alvin Kamara shows up in Colorado.
Ooh, okay.
Billy, I don't believe in luck for real.
Okay.
My granddad is. I know it's blessings. Luck come from somewhere else. I believe in blessings and coincidences, Billy.
Yep.
It's not a coincidence that Dion say, I got Coach Prime. They call him Dion. I don't like it. Coach Prime say, I like these colors. The next day, Alvin Kamara just hit your practice. Come on, man. That ain't really good. What you doing in Colorado? You ain't finna play for them.
Good point. That's just where we're doing it a little differently than going 1 through 32, because I think 1 through 32 we can argue like, oh well, this guy's still there. Da da da.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
thought it'd be more fun to do it in this manner.
Yeah, I like it. Let's keep going.
Yep. And then the Falcons, I got them getting the linebacker from Alabama, Jaheed Campbell, just to kind of solidify. They probably need an edge, but I think this draft is really deep with some edge rushers and some defensive linemen that they'll grab one in the second round. That's going to be one of my things for this year's draft. I think there's a lot of edges. There's a lot of receivers that you can get later.
Yeah. But no, they've been needing the edge for too long, Billy. They going Mike Green.
Nope, and I respect that 100%. And I missed an NFC South team. I got Mike Green going to the Panthers at 9. Is why the Falcons go ahead and get the best defensive player on the board, on my board so far.
Nah, I got them still worrying about that offensive line being trash, so they go and mount up on that defense. And what we do in this league now, Billy, y'all like to tell me, Chris say running backs ain't valuable, so what do we do? Pass the ball. So you got JC Horn on one side, and then they gonna go get Will Johnson on the other side.
I respect
teams
that.
run against Carolina because they're losing after the second possession for the rest of the game. So
that's a good point, Chris, too. I like that. That's a good point. But still, Tony, I do like that pick. And then I got Tampa Bay taking Shamar Stewart. They took Chop Johnson. I believe it was last year or the year before. But I think Shamar Stewart from A&M is going to give them that kind of beefy edge rusher that they're kind of looking for in that easy division, quote unquote. Am I tripping on that also?
You said who?
Shamar Stewart from A&M.
What team are we on?
The Buccaneers.
Tampa.
No, they going cornerback.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And that's where I was sitting there. Trey Amos was there for me from Ole Miss, so you know him well.
Barron from Texas.
Again, he just didn't fall to Tampa Bay for this certain pick. I didn't do any trades for my 2.0. I will do one for our actual mock draft because I think it's more fun. I think this kind of mock is a little gay, not having any trades.
Yeah, for sure. I like this one.
Okay. And then let's go ahead and move on. We'll go to the NFC or the AFC East first. The Patriots at 4, taking and I can never say his name right, McMillan. They call him Ted, by the way. Ted McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona. I think Vrabel gets in there. I think he wants to fix the defense first, but I think with all that free agency spending, Tonio, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, this one also goes to you kind of because I think you know enough football. But I think Mike Vrabel gets in there and understands that Drake May has nobody to throw the ball to, and I think that's where they got to go.
Nah, I'm thinking you wrong because Tannehill, they got rid of A.J. Brown. I don't think Vrabel give a fuck about a wide receiver.
No, remember Braves was pissed.
No, he was pissed that they got rid of A.J.
Yeah.
Brown. He wanted A.J. there.
So Tannehill didn't have nobody. But Billy, that defense got way better.
Yeah.
Rick Henry came out and should have won the MVP tonight.
He should have. Yes, absolutely.
I think Braves is going to Ramon Stevenson just going to run the fuck out the ball. And we're going to go and make that defense even better. And we're going to get Abdul Carter.
Ooh, okay. No, I take it. I like that.
Yeah, I think if you're a top defensive coach, I think you should be able to coach up your side of the ball to where they play above their talent level.
It's just like we never seen a good draft from Bill ever.
Good point.
But our defense wasn't ass neither with Bill.
Yeah.
So I think Braves gonna draft better, but he gonna draft better towards, like Chris said, his side of the ball.
Well, no, I was actually going to say the opposite. I don't know that he's going to be able to coach up the offensive side of the ball as well as he can the defensive side of the ball. It's just not his side of expertise, so to say.
I think. Well, that's what I'm saying, Chris. That's why we're gonna go get defenders. Like,
but how much money you just spend in free agency?
No, I'm saying that's why you go get offensive guys. You put the better talented players on offense.
What did they do after they lost A.J. Brown? They got better. They were the number one defense the next year, right?
Yeah, but so Tonio, here's the thing too. It's kind of like Chip Kelly said that forever. He was like, if I ever get to the NFL, I'm only drafting defensive players because I'll fix that offense, no problem.
Yeah, because you can give him any offense because he knows he's a good offensive coach. You can coach him up.
I'm telling you, we just about to run the ball, Billy.
No, I'm with you.
Braves had Tennessee number one with the worst passing offense. It was, but they can run the ball.
I also think when you got a rookie quarterback, you want to give him weapons to see if he's actually capable of playing the position.
Did we do Jacksonville?
Yeah.
I lied, Billy, on my pick. Then I forgot. I got a paper here, and Ashton Genty going to Jacksonville.
You got Tank Bisbee and Trevor Etienne.
Yeah, they're gonna run Wildcat. Get fucking what's the name off the field completely.
And then I got at 13, the Dolphins taking Josh Simmons, the tackle from Ohio State, played at San Diego State for a couple years. Then went to Ohio State, won a natty, showed, hey, I could block these guys in the Big Ten. What do you think about that? Where do you think Miami needs to go? Protect Tua is the whole scheme.
You can't protect
the unprotected. Is that what you're about to say?
But I do think they might go Josh Connerly Jr.
Okay.
From Oregon.
I'm not mad. The tackle from Oregon, yeah, quick, very quick. You get those Oregon offensive linemen, dude. You get some quick fuckers that are big. And then the Jets, I missed. I'm sorry, at pick 7 for the tackle from Missouri, Armand Membu.
I think there's another place where he want to beat his dad being drafted, but I don't think he does. Shedeur could end up in New York. I hope he don't. Not this New York.
I don't think Aaron Glenn wants that his first year, because I also don't think even if the Jets suck, I don't see Aaron Glenn taking Arch Manning either. Just to stay away from that stuff.
I think the Jets just like to be in the headlines. What's
You talking about Woody Johnson?
Yeah, Shador, Justin Fields battle will get you in the headlines because we know who won in that battle.
Yeah, that's true. I'm with you on that. And then for the last one for the AFC East, the Bills, I got them taking Siobhan Revelle from the corner from East Carolina. I think they need some corner help. They lost Davis White last year. Their defense that you and I both predicted were going to really fall off a cliff didn't necessarily fall off a cliff. Hey, our 2 viewers in right now. Hey, appreciate it. Just give us who you think your team's going to grab in the draft, who you want to draft. Tony, am I tripping on that pick for the Bills?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going defensive line. They're going to get Kenneth Grant from Michigan.
Kenneth Grant from Michigan. Okay, the other defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Okay. No, and I respect that. I can understand. But we're gonna move on to the NFC East at the Giants. I'm gonna go first because they're at 3. I got them taking Tyler Warren. I think the Shador fall is gonna be real this year, and I think I'm kind of bracing myself for that. But Tyler Warren is gonna be somebody who they look at as a Brock Bowers kind of guy, who can take a little bit of pressure off Malik Neighbors across the middle. In some of those splitting those cover 2 routes, stuff like that. You can tell me I'm absolutely wrong with this pick because I think this is
absolutely wrong. You got to protect the best thing you got going over there at the organization, and that's Jameis Winston. You got to protect him. So they're going to get Armand Miller. They're going to get an offensive tackle from Missouri. They got to protect him, bro. Like me and Chris was saying, bro. Jameis can win you some games, dog. Russ
is going to be the starter. Jameis has a 2-year, $8 million deal. Russ has a 3-year, $40 million deal, Antonio. He's the starter.
Russ, 86 years old. If you don't get nothing to boot up that offensive line, first time he do that little rollout shit, he gonna get smacked, and then he back at home with Sierra.
Not a bad gig. That's not a bad gig to have. And then the Cowboys for the next pick at 12. Chris, Cowboys going with Luther Budden III, wide receiver from Missouri. How do you feel about that pick?
I don't give a fuck.
Awesome. I'm glad that's the comeback that you had for that. I was hoping you give us some more analysis. Tonio, go ahead.
Mikael Williams, edge from Georgia.
Okay. Oh, well, they're going to pay Micah Parsons. Are you in that bet?
Yeah.
Cam
owed me $50.
Yeah.
Don't pay Michael Parsons.
I think I'm on that bet with Cam also.
The Marcus Lawrence left. They need someone on the other side.
And then here's another fall in the draft that I'm wondering if I'm predicting the right way. Kelvin Banks Jr., the tackle from Texas, is going to Washington to protect Jaden Daniels. That's where they're going to have to go.
That's a hell of a pick.
Absolute steal if he falls that low. We'll see in mock draft number 3 if he falls that low. Like I said, I was dicking around a little bit with this one.
James Pierce Jr. They want to get better defensively. Hey, Jaden can run. Hey, get up out of there, get the ball. Stop taking sacks. Get up out there and use your legs. You won the Heisman because of your legs. They're going defense. James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee.
Okay, absolutely. And then I got the Eagles taking your boy Princely. Can you say his last name, Antonio? The edge rusher from Mississippi State or from Ole Miss.
Fuck, no, I can't say his name.
Princely Omainaminian.
Yeah, I don't be with them names, Billy. I don't fuck around.
Dude, some of those are hard. But I have Philly taking an edge rusher. They could literally take whatever they want. They have probably the best roster in the NFL. They'll probably replace Mason Graham, who's the longest tenured player on one team as of right now in the league, and I think that's where I'm taking them.
Well, they got rid of Big Play Slay, so I got them going Siobhan Revelle.
The East Carolina quarter.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I can see that too, but I think with them taking Cooper and Quavon Mitchell from last year, I don't know if they need a corner.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I could absolutely see the Eagles being like, yep, Let's double down. Let's just do what we know is gonna fucking work.
Can't throw to this side. Can't throw in the middle. Now you can't throw to this side. Run the ball, and you're gonna run into them two big ass Georgia defensive linemen. What you gonna do against us?
No, 100%. You know, it's crazy you say that. I'm like, all right, yeah, okay, I can see it. All right, we're moving on to the AFC North now. The Browns with the second pick, Tonio. They're taking Travis Hunter. I think that's where Travis is gonna go.
I hate it for him. I really do.
You and I have not agreed on one pick yet. Is this the one we do agree on?
Yeah, this is the one. It's not even going to make sense because if Travis falls to, if he don't go 1 or 2, then he coming to New England, baby.
I think the Giants, if he's at 3, I think the Giants want to take him.
For what?
You got to help Malik Neighbors, dude. He's getting double, triple coverage.
Yeah, but shit, Malik need help getting the ball to him.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. So fuck, maybe I can hit a double, bro. We see elite receivers get double and still make plays. They quarterbacks also have a little bit of time to make sure they can get them the ball.
Sure.
The Giants gotta go fucking yeah. The Giants gotta go offensive line, really.
Okay, I'm with you.
Who's the quarterback in Cleveland?
Probably Kirk Cousins is where I think he's going.
See, that's what's scary. Man. Like, the door's still right. He's gonna be right there.
Yeah.
So, but Travis makes the most sense.
Okay, I'm with you, and I respect you.
It makes the most sense, but it's the Browns, bro. We've seen them historically go get quarterbacks.
And then I'm going to roll James Pierce Jr. for the Bengals at 17. So he has a lot of quote-unquote off-the-field issues. I hate when they say that because he's just a little fiery. He just says what's on his mind. In the Bengals, he led the SEC. Antonio, you're going to love this. Led the SEC in pressure percentage, which in the SEC is crazy, and led the SEC in sacks.
Oh.
Dominant. I don't give a fuck about your off the field whatever.
I don't care, bro. Like I really wish as a society we separate the athlete from the person. Like, hey, bro, as long as he ain't killing nobody and raping nobody, bro, I don't give a fuck if he calls your mama a bitch. The
Even if he killing somebody, I'll take Ray Lewis, Marvin Harrison, and Aaron Hernandez. Put them all on the same team. Come stop me.
Ray Lewis was in the wrong place at the wrong time, Chris.
Allegedly.
Allegedly he killed someone.
Aaron Hernandez did that shit though. But while he was with us, shit, I wouldn't just against him. Yeah, hey, y'all gotta get him back on these fields for something.
Hey,
if there was a way to get him back, I guarantee you Tonio would suit his ass up tomorrow.
Tonio, let me because we got a little bit of time. I think I can press this. Aaron Hernandez would have been better than Gronk had he not had that.
Yeah, he's a killer mentality.
Yeah, okay.
A partier.
I had an argument with somebody who was like, "No way," and I'm like, "Nah, you didn't watch Aaron Hernandez."
Aaron Hernandez was a dog on and off the field. But I got the Bengals going differently, Billy. They finally got it. Protect Joe, we win. So I got them going to get Donovan Jackson, bro, from Ohio State, the inside offensive line.
Okay, no, and I like that. I like that a lot. That's where I was kind of balancing. I've seen a couple mocks where they're taking receivers, and I'm like, I don't.
Well, that was probably before they re-signed both of their receivers.
No, Chris, that was today.
Are you serious?
I swear. So
that's fucking crazy.
I think
they're going to wind up trading
Bengals are going to hit the hey, let's get 100 and see what happens on defense and just play it by ear.
If they wind up trading Hendrickson, they're going to need somebody on defense to rush the passer because they're going to be in constant shootouts.
And that's where I went with James Pierce Jr. And then Antonio at 21, and it will hurt my heart, and I might cry on this pick. At 21, I think Shedeur falls ungracefully to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21.
If Shedeur go to Pittsburgh, Billy, y'all motherfuckers in trouble.
Yeah, no, and that's why I'm going to be upset. That's why I will be severely upset.
If I'm Shador, because the Steelers talked to him about 7 hours a day.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Damn.
But just to show my unbiased and this is the way I'm doing the draft, I yes. Because even I played a little bit with Seattle at 18. I played with Pittsburgh trading up to try to hurry up and go get him before anybody could think about it.
Yeah. I don't see Shador. I think one of them teams up top keep putting out these Shador rumors. So they can make sure nobody touch him. I still think Shador go high. But if he don't, that would be crazy. But I still think Mike Tomlin want to beef up that defensive line, just not have TJ. He want to get better. So I think he go get Derek Harmon from Oregon, and they treat him like a Cam Hayward 2.0.
Okay. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
That's a better take than Michael Vick 2.0 every day.
Well, Tonio, you could have said a lot of names, and that would have been a better take. So, and then the AFC North winners, the Baltimore Ravens. I got us taking Mikael Williams. I have him falling down a little bit. I saw a bunch of stories about his quote unquote off the field, not a leader, blah blah blah. But I will also raise Tony, and you correct me if I'm wrong too. It's hard for you're acting like these quote unquote leaders. You're playing at Georgia. You're not the leader. You're playing at
what position does he play?
Edge rusher.
Why do I need a pass rusher to be a leader?
And that's Chris. That's my exact point.
Where Billy was going. Hey, Chris, in the SEC, the leader is on certain teams. The leader is fucking the coach that puts the players.
The guy with the headset. That's who you listen to.
It's fucking Nick Saban. It's believe it or not, it's Lane Kiffin. Dog, them is the leaders in the SEC, bro. You don't, and I get it, bro. Like certain places, like Shador over there in Colorado. Yeah, he leading that team because that's how they ran it. But Dion making young men and young football players. Kirby them, they pushing out machines, dog. Like
yes,
you finna go hit.
I'll do that. Got it.
Yeah, you finna go hit hard, just like I say. All this, I don't care about. Well, I ain't gonna say Nick them don't care about developing the man, but they definitely care more about developing the football player than the man, right? So I don't need you to be no leader, right? Because Dion a little bit, not Dion. Coach Prime is a little bit more honest than Nick and Kirby. Telling these people, hey, y'all not going to the league. Like, you're going to be good here, and then you need to get your degree.
Yeah.
So y'all need to be professional men instead of professional players.
And a lot of stuff too I saw today. I just want to cover this before we go on to the NFC North. But everyone's talking about Shador not being coachable because his dad has coached him. It's have you not watched one Colorado game where Pat Shurmur is in Shador's ass and Shador is just sitting there? Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Not even just Shador. I seen the receiver coach come over and pull Shador like, hey, he was wide the fuck open.
Yeah.
Get that. Stop holding the ball so long. And Shador's like, Because Coach Prime used to give him the business the worst. I don't think people.
That was at Jackson State where he was really like Coach
Prime.
He
was giving his ass in Jackson, but there's couple games because if you watch the Well Out Media, Coach Prime be like, you gotta get your fucking hand in the game. He not cursing, but he like, you better than that. But you playing soft, bro. Like, I think for me personally, rest in peace, Pops. But if I had to play for my daddy, I think that'd be harder than me playing for some dude that wasn't my dad. Because I know my dad, he say he just want me to go out here, but it's my dad, dog. So he got these expectations. Hey, bro, you came for me. You need to be great. And then
here's Tonio. Let me raise you too, because I'm with you on if my dad was coaching me, it would be more of a I don't want to disappoint this guy.
Yeah,
you know,
losing and somebody called me sorry, but then I go home and my dad be like, "Bro, you disappointed me today, dog." Oh man, that's on. Shit. Yeah, so I think it's a little different. But I'm gonna disagree with you with your pick.
Yeah,
I think y'all get Kyle Hamilton some help back there, and y'all go Malachi Starks from Georgia.
From Georgia also though. Yeah.
So I think y'all go Georgia, but I think y'all go safety. Because your secondary was
we really need a corner. But I think DaCosta and all them, like the good organizations, Chris, I know you don't know anything about that. But also when you get to those later rounds, some of those teams are picking best available, and that's where I'm falling kind of. You know what I'm saying?
I think y'all go safety off rip because Kyle Hamilton, y'all best player on defense. If you get him some help, that defense change.
No, 100%. And I've seen a lot with Starks. I've seen Starks in some mocks. That leaves Kyle to do kind of his whole thing.
And I know this probably being biased because I love the SEC.
Yeah.
But when it comes to defense and they got Georgia beside their name, it's almost a guarantee that they're gonna be fucking good. I don't
taking a guess, are you?
Yeah, look at y'all. Hell, back-to-back years, defense lineman, and now you got this dude, Travis Kelce, trying to push Jordan. No, that's the wrong team. I'm thinking about Philadelphia. Well, he came from Georgia, but you got Travis Kelce trying to push Jordan Davis, and he just like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
What are we doing? Yeah,
back over there, little man. So yeah, if y'all get some defensive players from Georgia, bro, like
no, and I'm with that. Let Kyle fucking run those blitzes, let him do that thing, and then you have Starks with ball hawking Ed Reed style in the back. Not comparing him to Ed Reed. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So we'll kind of speed this up a little bit, Tonio, because I thought we had a little more time than we did, but we don't. NFC North. With that first pick, because the NFC North probably best division in football. You got the Vikings, Packers.
For the Vikings, I got them going. Nick Emanwari from South Carolina, safety.
I've seen him in a lot of mocks. I didn't like his pro day, and I really didn't like his combine. But because I have Malachi Starks there for the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bears to stay in there. But I do think that might be the better pick because I do think Starks is going off the board. I know safeties don't get a lot of love, Tonio, right?
Nah.
So I can see Starks kind of falling. That's why I got him to the Vikings. And then the Bears at 10, I actually got Ashton Genty falling to them all the way at 10. And I think that's who they take. Ben Johnson's just he was just in Detroit. He saw the Sonic and Knuckles kind of comparison thing. DeAndre Swift and Ashton Genty is still, I think, a fucking problem. I think Ashton Genty can get you about 1,300 yards, just like we saw Gibbs. Chris, am I tripping on that a little bit? You haven't chimed in a while.
Where did you have Genty going on the first mock? I don't recall it being the Bears.
In the first mock, I believe I had Genty to the Raiders at 6.
Okay, yeah, I like him a lot more with the Bears. It makes a lot more sense with how Ben Johnson wanted to your point, do shit in Detroit. It also, I think, would take a little bit more pressure off of Caleb. They upgraded the O-line this offseason.
Yeah. And that's the only reason, too, I don't have them going O-line is because it's like the Patriots with defense. Like, I just didn't – they addressed it in the offseason. I don't see why
they signed, 3 starters?
Yes. The Bears offensive line has 3 new starters, two coming back.
I'm still gonna disagree with y'all.
What?
It sounds good, but I got them booting up that defense, getting that defense better because the defense was good. But I think you go and pair another super tall, athletic edge rusher with Montez Sweat, and you get Shamar Stewart from A&M.
Okay, no, Antonio, I do like that. I've seen Shamar. He's going later in some of these mocks. I had him in our first round. I had him going in the I believe to the Ravens. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, and then I got the Lions grabbing Landon Jackson, the edge rusher from Arkansas. Very raw, but very mean. If you look at the tape and you look at the combine, just to kind of Antonio, and I know you've seen these guys, kind of reminds me of a Robert Kindici. Just mean at the line, just
jumping out of windows in Atlanta and shit.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't gonna say that part, but yes, yeah, just a mean guy, and you're gonna say, oh, well, you're reaching for Landon Jackson at 28, but I think the Lions have shown you, like, hey, we're not scared to. We're gonna take the guy we want at whatever pick it is.
Well, I want us to agree other than Travis Hunter. We agree position wise.
Okay.
Just personnel. I got him taking Nick Scordon from A&M, also an edge rusher.
Yeah.
I got them taking him.
No, and I'm with you 100%. I do think that's where they go to also help Aiden Hutchinson on that side.
Yeah,
I could,
need help. Chris,
yeah.
Who you had?
I haven't done a mock draft.
Oh shit, Chris.
Yeah, that's why I haven't asked him who he had. That's why I asked him, like, what do you think? Pick? But Tonio, now we're gonna move on. Our last two, and we got AFC and NFC West. The AFC West, you got the Raiders. I have Will Campbell falling to them because, like I said, I had the Jaguars getting Abdul Carter, and I think the Raiders are sitting there like, well, fuck. All right. I think Zamir White is getting a lot of hate because in a lot of these mocks, they got Ashton Genty going. But Zamir White, if you just help him a little bit, man, the Raiders couldn't throw the ball. We're acting like Zamir White was out there just trying to run, but you weren't going to throw it. So who gives a fuck? I'm going to stack 8 in the box and tell you to beat me.
The Raiders is one of them teams that's got the trickiest shit to me too.
Yeah.
Because on one end, you did sign Geno, but at the same time, Geno ain't going to be there forever.
Yeah.
And then the other time, one of Shador's, and I know we keep saying Shador, it ain't biased. It's because he's the best quarterback in the draft. But his mentor is now partial owner for the Raiders.
100%. Got to think about that. That has to be in the thought process.
You got to think about shit like that. He also he scheduled to go visit the Raiders sometime again this week. So in my head, Billy, like, fuck, how do you not say Shador there maybe if he's still there? But then realistically, I think now that you got Geno, you want to throw the ball. So I think they go McMillan from Arizona.
Ooh, I do like that.
You get a X factor wide receiver for Geno because Geno can play the game.
Jacoby Myers also isn't bad. Brock Bowers was a gangster last year.
Yeah, Brock Bowers probably best tight end in the NFL last year.
Yeah,
we can make that argument because Mr. Swift fell off bad. And his fall off. I'm not hating people. His fall off still better than a lot of tight ends. It's just what we used to seeing to versus what he put out last year.
Yeah.
So Mr. Swift fell off. Brock Bowers at one point was leading the league in touchdowns for tight ends. I don't know if he ended up like that. Chris, let me know.
No, he was leading the league in touchdown receptions at one point.
Yeah, Chris, let me know what Brock Bowers' numbers was. But yeah, Billy, I got McMillan going there, man. Because I think if you get Geno, that's a big ass 6'4" target. Remind me of
and 2 years ago, Geno had the highest completion percentage, so he knows to get it in there.
Like an Anquan Bolden prototype body. So it's just like
good fucking grab. Good grab out
112 catches, 1,194 yards, 5 touchdowns, was the first team All-Pro.
Yeah.
At tight end in his rookie year.
Yeah. So he only gonna get
and then I got the Broncos, Tonio. I'm going to grab a drink, so I'm going to give you 2 real quick so you can react. The Broncos at 20 getting Kenneth Grant, the other interior lineman from Michigan. And I know that we hate on Michigan, but obviously we know those 2 dudes from the interior part of the line are fucking great. And then the Chargers getting the defensive tackle Walter Nolan from Ole Miss also. Just react to those, Tony. What do you think?
So he said, who you say first? Denver. So I got Denver, Chris. I got Denver getting coasting. Let me make sure. Go to my handy book here. I got. Where's this shit? Yeah, I got Denver getting coasting Loveland. From Michigan. I think they give both Knicks a little comfort, a little safe target. I know he just came off an injury, but fast ass tight end. I think they give Bo that, like, if I'm rolling out, I got a fast ass tight end, like a fucking likely tight end that I could throw to in Coast and Loveland for Denver.
Ooh.
That's what I think they're going to get. And then what was the second team you say?
Walter Nolan, the defensive interior lineman from Ole Miss.
What team is he going to?
The Chargers. But I heard the Michigan tight end, Nolan, right? Is that who you had to San Diego?
That was for Denver.
Okay. Well, they had that tight end. What's his name? It's something like Dooch. He got injured this year, but he was really great. But that was with Russell Wilson, so I don't know if I'm tripping.
I also got the Chargers going tight end as well.
Okay.
I got them going Tyler Warren.
You think Tyler Warren falls that far?
Yeah. I got him going, and it's just to take away attention from McConkey, bro. So
yeah.
you got her 6'6", 256, fast. He don't got a good quarterback he'd be going to, like Chris like to allude to. I'm just playing. I got them getting a tight end. They get aggressive, Bill. Yeah. I think they go and get Tyler Warren.
Okay, I respect that 100%. And I got the Chiefs to round up the AFC West with 31st pick. That's where Josh Cornley Jr. goes. Chiefs got to replace a lot.
Well, I think, like I said, man, you protect the franchise, so you got to protect Pat. They're going to get Josh Simmons.
You got the Ohio State tackle falling that far?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last division.
Tackle.
No, 100%. And I think this is a very deep tackle, very deep edge draft, so I understand. Now, NFC West, real fast before the fans kind of get on us. This is just the way I kind of just mapped it out. I literally just mapped how we were going to do it. So the NFC West to end with, none of us are NFC West fans. I didn't want to fucking make it anything weirder. At the NFC West, I got the 49ers at 11 taking Will Johnson. Because where did you have him? You had him going earlier, I think, to the Saints, right?
Yeah. No, to the Panthers.
Oh, to the Panthers. Yeah, no, makes sense.
I think if this dude don't go in the first 5 picks, I think this is where Will Campbell drops to.
Who just went outside? Was that mom who just went outside? Okay, what?
I was just going to get my stuff ready. You're almost done.
Say that last part, Tony. I'm sorry.
Hey, bro, I think that Will Campbell might drop out of the top 5 and go to the 49ers.
Ooh, yeah. If I'm the 49ers and Will Campbell's there, I'm taking him 100%. I'm with you.
I think this is where we go.
And then
because it's Will Campbell.
No, and I'm with you. And then I got, again, for the NFC West, I'm taking Jahade Barron, the corner from Texas.
Where are you going?
16 to Arizona.
I think they go get Matthew Golden from Texas.
Ooh, yeah. I'm with you. I think so. I was sitting there at Arizona and I was thinking receiver too, but with them just getting Marvin Harrison, that defense was bad. That defense was very bad. But they played McVay twice. They had to play that good Seahawks offense twice. I could see them going that way.
Because you ain't gonna get one piece that's gonna make you compete with them offenses, but you can go get another offensive piece.
Yeah. And that's where I have. I actually got Matthew Golden going to Seattle. They let go of Lockett and DK Metcalf. I can see them trying to be like, oh shit, we need a receiver all of a sudden.
I think they're gonna try to block and run the ball more. I think they get Kelvin Banks Jr.
Okay, so the Texas offensive lineman goes earlier.
Lineman rusher.
Now you got because now you got Charles Cross on one side, and then you'll have Banks on the other. That's going to be fucking gangster. Yeah. And then the last team, the LA Rams, and I don't know why I got them going down because they already have Braden Fisk, and they already have who's the other guy? Chris, look at those two rookie Rams players from this year, Braden Fisk and the other guy. But I have them taking Jalon Walker, excuse me. Another linebacker from Georgia.
Jared Verse, Braden Fiske, Blake Corum, and Cameron Kitchens.
Say that again.
Jared Verse,
yes, from Florida State. Jared Verse, Jalon Walker is who they're going to take this year. Antonio, who do you got the Rams taking?
I don't even see it around in my note. Did I do a mock draft for the Rams trade?
Uh-oh. Rams at 26.
Oh, I did.
That's not good.
It ain't. But I got them. That's where I got Walter Nolan going.
Respect. Okay, yeah. Just another interior to really solidify the defense because they almost had Philly. Saquon couldn't do anything. Jalen Hurts was getting sacked. They had like 6 sacks or 7 sacks in that game.
Yeah, they just got rid of Bobby. He went to the Panthers. Bobby
Wagner went to
I'm talking about Bobby Brown.
Oh, Bobby Brown? Oh, damn. How does he like Carolina?
Bro, already making like infomercials and doing games and all that stuff for him.
That's awesome.
And he got a bag, so yeah.
Well, yeah. That's always a plus.
And he closer to Mississippi.
Well, he wants to live in California. You go from Mississippi to Texas to California. Look.
So now he's in Carolina, so it's closer. Yeah. Makes more sense. It's more southern.
Yeah.
Than LA was, so yeah.
Probably talks to Xavier Leggett and understands what he's saying.
One of my favorite people to listen and talk. Did we say we didn't say Green Bay, did we?
So you know what's funny, dude? I was just looking over and I didn't. That's one team that we did miss. But I got them taking Trey Amos from Ole Miss corner.
I got them taking Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State.
They're not. Green Bay has never, since Javon Walker, they have not taken a first-round wide receiver, and I don't think they start this year.
I think they start, bro. You got to get Jordan Love some more prospects, bro. And I think Emeka Egbuka was that quietly really, really good wide receiver.
For 3 years.
Yeah. And he just happened to have bigger names in front of him every year. This is gonna be his year, and then fucking Jeremiah Smith was just like, nah, got that.
Yeah, good to go. Don't worry about it. Yeah. What a fun mock draft-esque show that was.
Yeah. When is the draft next?
No, in 2 weeks, April 27th. My Ravens hat should be here.
Yeah. So next week will be our mock draft show, or is it gonna be
the week after?
Yeah. 2 weeks we have our mock draft show. So I need y'all to get y'all draft boards ready. The alumni need y'all to get 1 through 32, include your trades, do all of that. and we're just gonna have a whole show dedicated to the mock draft. We are finishing right at the time to finish. Real quick shout out to Ovechkin for what he did.
We did forget that. Alexander Ovechkin, the NHL's leading all-time goal scorer, not points because he's still fucking 1,400 behind Wayne Gretzky the Great. But shout out to him because a lot of goals, that's a lot of goals.
That is a lot of goals.
And with one team, even the great one had to fucking dabble around about 3 teams before he really figured it out.
Yeah, I know. Chris, y'all got any shows?
None that are announced.
Well, announce one.
I can't break news. Their show's coming, but they're not announced yet.
Okay, I guess
All
you
right.
still don't announce the show. You could announce it right here. That's the whole point.
Well, mysterious Chris being mysterious.
All right.
Billy will be back on location soon. Y'all stay tuned for that. We'll be back in a garage coming near you sometime soon.
Well, unless the house we get doesn't have a garage. Brea keeps looking at houses without garages. I tell her no all the time. So we'll just.
But it's been another amazing show, man. We will see y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe.
All right, y'all. Hey, we appreciate it. Thanks.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Brick Shots with Billy Antonio.
For 50 more bricks. Ballin' like a with all these bricks.